Hello, in this video we will cover the first steps to configure the Smart Builder tool application. As an initial example, we will create an interface for managing employees and their dependents. This interface will consist of a screen with two tabs, one called Employees and another called Dependents. We will also show the procedure for creating the report. This report will consist of a main header containing the employees and a secondary header containing their dependents. The first step is to download the application from the Smart Builder tool website. Click the Get It Free button. When the download screen opens, click the Download button next to Smart Builder tool. When the Terms and Conditions screen appears, click Agree and then Download. After the download is complete, move the file to a new folder where the other application files will be stored. Select the file and unzip it. The compressed file contains a spreadsheet and 2 DLLs. Open the application. If prompted, click on Enable Editing and enable macros. When running for the first time, the databases used by the application are created automatically, but we will talk about them later. Log in with the admin user, no password is required. Then click on Login. When logging in as the admin user, the Design Tools tab is shown. This tab contains all the tools needed to configure the application. In this example, we will cover the tools from Step 1, Screen Design and Drop-Down List. The first step of our example is to create a tab to organize the application, then click on the Screen Design button. On the Page Config tab, click the New button. Fill in the page name field. In our example we call it Employee. Click on Save and that's it, the new tab has been created. Now we need to create a button to load the new interface. Select the Screen Creation tab and click the New button. In the Screen Title field we will fill in Employee Registration. This is the information that will appear in the title bar of the interface. In the field, Text shown on button, fill in the name of the button, in our example we call it Employee. Click Save and you're done. To adjust the layout, click the Layout button. On this screen you can format the objects according to your preferences. The red rectangle represents the screen area. You can change the object's position and size. You can also adjust the font size and color, as well as make it bold and italic. You can make the object invisible by dragging it out of the red area. Drag the object into the red area to make it visible again. After making the desired adjustments, save the changes by clicking the Save button. In this way, all information will be saved in the design database. Do not click the Save icon in Excel as this information is stored in the database and not in the worksheet. If you want to discard the changes, click Cancel. Now let's add the fields to the new interface. Select the Screen Config tab. Click on the New button and fill the field page name with Employee, then click on Save. Now the next step is to create the fields that will be part of the Employee tab. Click on the Filed Config tab. Let's create the fields that are part of the Employees tab. Click on the New button. The first field created is called the primary key. This means that it must contain a unique value. In our example, the ID number field must contain a unique value, as this field is responsible for identifying each employee individually. In field description type ID number. Select the data type. For the ID number we choose a numeric type. The right column of the drop-down list shows an example of using each data type. Click Save. Now let's create the field called Full Name. Click on New and fill in the fields. Under data type select Short Text. Select Filling Mandatory as Yes, then the user will be required to fill this field when using this interface. Click Save. Now let's create the Gender field. This is a drop-down list field, so the first step is to create a table with the values displayed in the drop-down list. Click the Drop-down List button. On this screen, drop-down lists are created. Click on the New button. In drop-down list name fill with gender. This will be the name of the table. In key field fill with gender code. This will be the name of the table's primary key field. Select the data type, and then fill in the name of the description field. Click Save. Now let's add the values to the table. click on the drop-down Values tab. Click New. In gender code, enter a numeric value or click on the button to the side to automatically get a new value. In gender description, fill in masculine. Click Save. Repeat these steps for the rest of the list items. You can add as many items as you need. When you're done filling in the values, click the Close button. Now let's create a drop-down list field in our interface. Click on the New button. Click the button as shown. Under Tables, select Gender. The primary key field, represented with an asterisk symbol, is always required. It is recommended to also select a description field, in this case gender description. Sort the list for ease of use by the user. Click Apply and Close. In field description, fill with gender. The data type field is automatically configured. Select filling mandatory as yes. Click Save. We learned the process for creating the fields. Now create the other fields according to the following table. I created the fields according to field name and data type column. In this list, we have 3 new drop-down fields. Create the lists as already explained, fill them with codes and descriptions as suggested. You are free to create other fields if you wish. After creating all the fields, it's time to adjust the layout. Make sure you are on the Field Config tab, then click on the Layout button. Each field created is formed by 2 objects. The object with a gray background represents the text shown next to the data entry field, in this case represented with a white background. Always keep these 2 objects close together. You can now drag and resize the fields as you see fit. Get to work. After adjusting the layout, remember to save the changes by clicking the Save button. Shall we see how it turned out? Close the screen and open the new interface. The Employee tab is almost complete, but we can insert a list below the fields to improve navigation and data visualization. Back to Screen Design. Go to the Field Config tab and click the Show List button. Move the desired fields to the list on the right. These are the fields that will be shown in the list. After moving all the desired fields, click on Save. Click the Layout button to adjust the size and position of the list. The list is represented by the larger rectangular object. Move and resize the list as you see fit. Save the changes and you're done. Shall we see how it turned out? The Employee tab is ready. Now let's create the Dependents tab. Go back to Screen Design. Go to the Screen Config tab and click the New button. Fill the page name field with dependents, then click Save. Now the next step is to create the fields that will be part of the Dependent tab. Click on the Field Config tab. Click on the New button. Remembering that the first field created is called a primary key, that is, this field must contain a unique value, so that all records can be identified individually. Let's keep the name index suggested by the application. Click the button next to Field Description. In this screen it is possible to configure the dependency between the tabs of the same screen. In order to be able to correlate the data between the employee table and the dependent table, a common field between the 2 tables is required. This field is automatically created by the application in all tables whose tabs are to the right of the first tab. By default, all the tabs on the right are dependent on the first tab, in this case the Employee tab. However, if necessary, it is possible to change this dependency as briefly explained at the bottom of the link page screen. As the configuration is already correct, click on Close to return to the previous screen. Select the data type. For the index field we choose a numeric type. Click Save. Now create the other fields according to the following table. Add the fields as suggested, but remember that you are free to create the fields as you need. In this list, there is a drop-down list type field. Create the lists as already explained. Now get to work. Remember that after creating the fields, you can add a list for easier navigation by clicking on the Show List button. Finally, adjust the layout by clicking the Layout button. Remember to save changes before exiting. Shall we see how it turned out? Close the screen and open the new interface. The Dependents tab is ready. The next step in our example is to create the report. Go back to Screen Design. Click the Report Config tab. Click New and fill in the fields. Click Save. Now adjust the report layout by clicking the Layout button. This report has two headers, one for employee data and one for dependent data. The application automatically brings up a layout suggestion based on the position of the fields on the screen. In this example, as there are few fields on the Dependent tab, they have been placed in list format. Adjust the size and position of the fields to your preference. After adjusting the fields, save and the report is ready to be used. Shall we see how it turned out? Close the screen and open the new interface. Click the Report button. Choose the print type. If you want to print only the current record, keep Print Only Current Record checked, otherwise uncheck this checkbox. Click on the Print Preview button to generate the report. The interface for registering employees and their dependents is now fully ready to be used. To prevent accidental deletion of an employee's data, we can add a data deletion restriction to our interface, giving deletion permission only to the system administrator. Let's do this by adding a script to the interface. Go back to Screen Design. Click on the Screen Config tab and select the Employee record. In this way we will associate the script with the Employee tab. Now select the Button Events Config tab, click on New, and select the Erase event. Click Save. Now click on the Script button. Click the Decision button. Select User Logged In. Select the Different button, and then select Admin. Click Apply and Close. Click the Message button, and add a text to guide the user. Click Apply and Close. Click on the Abort button, and then on Apply and Close. Click the Enable Routing button and make the connections as shown. After finishing, click on Disable Routing, and then on Save. Close the screen and log in with another user. Enter the employee screen and try to delete a record by clicking on Erase. The application did not allow the record to be deleted. Now log in with the admin user and repeat the operation. The record has been deleted. Thus, we concluded the creation of the interface for registering employees and their dependents. In this video we cover the procedure for creating an interface. However, the interface we just created is ready and available on our website for download and installation. Let's close the application and delete all databases. This procedure will restore the application to its initial state. Enter the application again to install the add-in. Note that the databases are recreated. Now just access the smartbuildertool.com website, go to Add-ons and search for Employees and Dependents. Click Download and then download again. After the download is complete, go back to the application and click on Install Add-in. Click the Browse button and select the folder where the file is located, in this case the Downloads folder. Select the file and click Open. Click on Install Add-in. The add-in has been installed, and the interface is ready to be used. Close the screen by returning to the main screen. The interface is now ready to use. You don't need to be a programmer to do all this. Learn more at smartbuildertool.com.